Hey folks, Roland Martin here. A little YouTube adventure, and here's the big tip of the day. The early bird gets the worm. Now it's been a hot summer week. It's been almost 100 degrees every day. The fish aren't biting good in this hot summer day. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to start off early before the sun even rises. That's the whole thing. The early bird catches the worm. And so I'm going to start this little Spro popper. This has been a really good topwater plug. I have it set up to 20-pound line. And what I'm doing, I'm basically just casting it out on the edge. There's like a little channel in here. And I'll just let it sit there for a long time until the riffles die away. And just little chunks and little pit twitches. And I'll just work right on down this channel. Oh, something hit it. Look at that. Something kind of swirled at it. He didn't take it. Little swirl. Oh, looks like a bluegill. Looks like a bluegill. You know, it's funny, these big bass, sometimes they'll just suck it down like a bluegill. So it's not always just bluegills. Okay. Early bird gets the worm. There's a lot of cedar trees and oak trees on the edge of this channel. I'm just going to throw close to them, let the ripples die away, just like I'm doing right there. And just a slow little twitch. And okay, I'm set up with a 7-foot medium heavy action favorite rod and 20-pound line. Why I'm using monofilament, it's a simple reason that monofilament doesn't sink. Well, it sinks a little bit, but it doesn't sink as much as, say, fluorocarbon. And when you use fluorocarbon and you're working the plug slow, like I'm working it slow right now, when I'm working it slow, what happens is the line sinks down, and when you pull it, it pulls the plug under. So we don't want that. We don't want that at all. Okay, the other thing I'm doing is so important here. I got the trolling motor on a real low speed because really quiet power really catches fish. That's been the key to so much of my fishing, is just trying to be real quiet. I throw out there. There's grass. There's a grass flat right here to the right. And it's all a big grass flat, and then it drops a little bit deeper to the left. And so right where the plug is, it's kind of on the edge. And I'm just kind of easing it along. And this has got real sharp Gamakatsu treble hooks on it. And it's really going to be a good hookup. You don't miss many fish when they hit this. It's really, really a good deal. Early in the morning, it's just a magic time. You got about an hour of really, really good topwater fishing before the sun gets up. And it's going to get up bright today. That's the other thing. There's no clouds in the sky. It's going to be a bright day. It's not going to be much for topwater because the best topwater days are drizzly, kind of overcast days. But it's not going to be that today. So we're going to have a good topwater bite maybe this first hour. That's about all we're going to have. But the thing about topwater, hey, some of your biggest fish hit topwater. It could be some really, really big ones. Let the ripples die away. It's early in the morning. Sun hasn't come up. I'm fishing one of the watershed lakes down in southern Oklahoma. And I've been fishing all week with Jimmy Houston. In fact, I have his boat. I borrowed his little heritage boat. I have one just like it at home in Florida. And we both got a boat, and we helped with the advertising. Johnny Morris gave us both a boat as well as Bill Dance. Anyway, we use it a lot. I use mine a lot in the little shallow canals and ponds in Florida. And it's a perfect boat for these timbered little watershed lakes like this one, because it goes through the timber really well. It doesn't get scratched up. It's just a nice little boat. Okay. Come on, Dad. There's one. I got him. He's not real big. Better. You see how he sucked it in? He just sucked it in real slow and easy. Okay. He just sucked it in real slow and easy. Oh, wait a second. There's two of them. Look at this. I got the big one on. Come on. The big one came along. And got, look at that. The little one hit, and a big one came and stole it from him. So that was a heck of a deal. Big old 3 4-pounder. Yes, sir. Let me back off here. Okay, this is a beautiful bass. What happened, I don't know if you saw that, but it was about a 2-pound bass came up and ate that plug right here. And then all of a sudden, this 4-pound bass came up and ate the plug, and they had the 2 of them on there at the same time. So I'm going to back away from this spot. I'm going to go ahead and release it. And beautiful, beautiful bass. That means that there's more fish right there. I'm just going to kind of... This is a brand new little lure by Spro. It's a little topwater popper that has a little feather on the back, and it's just a really good little popping plug. What I like about it is that it casts well. You know, a lot of plugs, when you go to cast them, oh, there's a big one, there's a big one. Oh my heavens, that's a good one. That's a good one. It's a good one. Look at this guy. Oh yeah, big one. Big one. Whew. That's a good one. Another big bass. Did you see the way he hit that thing? He just exploded on it. That was so cool. So let me just show you that plug real quick. Here's a nice big 4-pound bass. Oh, really nice one. I got 20-pound line on here. That's a good fish. Big old 4-pounder or so, probably bigger than that. And I'll just show you the lure. That's a beautiful bass. That's a beautiful bass. Okay, I'm gonna let him go. Okay, this plug, it's really, really a cool plug. It's what they call the Pop 80. And this is a chrome one. I took it down the Everglades in a canoe not too long ago. And boy, we caught the heck out of them. I mean, it was really, really something. They were really biting this thing. And I was throwing it on monofilament again. And that's an important thing. Again, I was telling you, the fluorocarbon sinks. Monofilament does a really good job. And I'm checking the line nice and straight. And these are Gamakatsu hooks with a nice thing. Now, you know what's happening here? I better address this. That little deal's kind of coming off the thread. So I got super glue just so that the little hook won't come apart. I want to keep that thing super glue right there. Okay. Let's see what happens here. Ease along. A lot of times these fish will take it while it's just sitting there. Don't have to do much anything. Oh, he's got it, he's got it, he's got it, he's got it. He's got it. See, I didn't have to do hardly anything. I just had just barely moving it. Big old 3 and 4 and 5 pounders are just hitting it like right and left, or left and right, or however that is. Look at this guy, big 4-pounder. Oh, son. That's a good one. Big old giant fish. That's so cool. That's so cool. That's what we're talking. The sun has finally hit the water. That's a good one. Yeah. Just let it sit there. It's all shady and calm. Water's clear. You know, there's an important thing to think about topwater fishing. One of the main things is to have clear water. There's really 4 things involved with topwater fishing that really make a big difference. Okay, having clear water is one. The second thing is having fairly warm water. In other words, they don't bite when it's 30 or 40 degrees on topwater very good. They bite when it's 70 and 80 degrees. I mean, they like the warmer water, and right now it's about 80 degrees. So they like the warmer water in the summertime. That's one thing. The third thing that I really look for is low light. I try to find it's early in the morning or it's shady in the shady banks, or if it's overcast and rainy, it's even better. So overcast and rainy days are the best topwater days. Early in the morning, anytime there's a cloud cover, that's also good. So that's three important things. The last important thing I think that's important is you don't want a lot of wind. If there's just a whole lot of wind blowing, you're going to have a hard time. The wind is not your friend, not when you're topwater fishing. Wind can be your friend when you're spinnerbait fishing. Wind can be your friend when you're doing some other stuff. But for topwater, I like a calm day. Okay. Oh, there's a good one. There's a good one. There's a good one, son. Oh, son, he's a good one. Oh, look at this guy. Oh, son, he smashed her off that log. Nice big old 3 or 4 or 5 pounder. Uh-oh. Decent fish. Not real big, but boy, he's feisty. He sure hit it good. That fish hit, there's a log that comes out right there, and he was right on the end of that log. That's just a perfect combination. Okay, I'm gonna check my line. Boy, you gotta be careful on monofilament or any kind of line for that matter. Check the knot, make sure it's really good, see if there's any kind of fray. It's pretty good. And I'll even pull it hard. Yeah, it's good. Okay. Now, this plug has a real sound to it. And some guys like to get a cadence like poop, poop, and then they'll go fast. But like for smallmouth and for big wide open flats, I'm working it faster. But for a target, for an ambush point, you know, you figure that these fish are gathered around these little trees. So when you're on an ambush point, that's when you have to let it go really slow. So what I do on an ambush point, you know this is a log in between there. I'm going to throw it right to that little opening right there. I'm going to let it sit 1 second, 2 seconds, 3 seconds, 4 seconds, 5. Just let the ripples die out. And then a little teeny twitch. You notice I just barely twitched it, just barely twitch it. And then I hit it a little harder. And then I can hit a little bit harder yet. It got their attention. If he's there, he's stalking after it. And he might come out, you know, he might follow it out. But normally, they hit it in the first 3 or 4 feet. Now, I'm not saying I won't catch one again as I come in, but you waste a lot of time if you just keep working it slow all the way in, like I'm doing now. I could be out there with another cast. So I'm not going to spend the time doing it. When I'm fishing an ambush point, like I'm fishing these bushes, I'm only fishing the first 3 or 4 feet. And then I'm reeling it in. So I'm going to throw it to the ambush point. I'm going to let it sit there, let it sit there, let it sit there. Really kind of be slow and easy with it. Switch it slow and easy. And I moved it about 2 or 3 feet. And I'm not going to fish it much farther. That's about 4 or 5 feet, 6 feet. At that point, I'm just going to reel it in. I'm saving a lot of time that way. I can throw a lot farther down the road. I can throw it to the next little opening there. Oh, good one, good one, good one, good one. He just sit there and he just ate it all by himself. Look at this guy. Look at this guy. Look at this guy. Look at this guy. We're talking about a good one, son. We're talking about a good one. Yeah. Woo. I'm telling you what, folks, this is the sun is finally hitting my face for the first time this morning, and I've got 4 and 5 pound bass biting this thing. Beautiful bass. So let's face it, folks. Early bird catches the worm. That's the trick for today's fishing. You have to admit, there's some good fishing here, son. Watershed lakes in southern Oklahoma, out of a little bitty boat, fishing the timbered areas. Nice big 4-pounder. So folks, if you want some great early morning action with topwater, hey, you gotta capitalize on this early morning bite before the sun is finally hitting my face. This is like my limit of big bass that I've caught already in just 20 minutes. I've caught some big, beautiful bass. So folks, you can see, get out early, get yourself a good popper with a good Gamakatsu hooks, good 20-pound line, good favorite rod. Hey, you'll catch some big old bass on topwater too. The early bird catches the worm. Hey, thanks for watching. We'll see you again soon.